What's up, guys? It's time for the final picks and predictions video of the 2022-2023 season. And of course, we're talking about the big game, the Super Bowl. And how did I do with the conference games? Well, I got both wrong. So we're at our final tally, other than one game shy, of course, with the Super Bowl, is going to be 169 wins, 112 losses, and 2 ties. Not a bad season, not a great season either for me. Usually a great season, or what I would consider a great season, would be on the upper end of about 200 wins. So we're kind of shy of that. We're about 30 shy of that. We're about 2 full weeks of being shy of what I consider a great season as far as picks and predictions go. So yeah, the conference games, how did they go? Well, I picked San Francisco and I picked Cincinnati. Let's first talk about the Cincinnati game with that one. And in all honesty, man, the ref calls really shot them in the foot. That was not the way Kansas City wanted to win. Both teams are good teams, or great teams, in fact. And the fact of the matter is that was a referee game. That is where games like that is why people believe the NFL is fixed. It's games like that. That's why people believe it. It's the same with the NBA and every other major sport, but when you see a game completely controlled and dominated by bad calls and the refs controlling the ebb and flow and the morale and the motivation of both teams, to a degree, when you see that they're the ones in control trying to make their role more important than letting the teams play, then you really see that you can understand the argument where people have that little bit of doubt. I've got that doubt sometimes. I love the NFL and I love the NHL, but sometimes you see shit and it's just like, man, do they ever want this to be scripted? Man, do they want certain teams to win, Just feels that way sometimes. As I said, I don't really have much of a dog in this race necessarily now that the 49ers and Cincinnati Bengals are both out, but Kansas City won that game regardless how you feel about it. That's the end result. So Kansas City Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. Now let's talk about the next one, which is, of course, the Eagles and San Francisco 49ers. And in all honesty, as I said, the problem is I always said that the NFC was much stronger, and they are. They are far stronger this year than any other year. The NFC absolutely is the dominating force in the NFL right now, and I've foreseen the entire time an NFC Super Bowl, regardless on who gets to the big game. Now, in this game, of course, very unfortunate for the 49ers, regardless whether the Eagles would have won or not, which was still a very high possibility, but, of course, a quarterback like Brock Purdy getting hurt and stuff like that, they just didn't have any chance. That just signed the warrant, you know what I mean? Like, there was just no way that the Eagles were not going to capitalize on that and such. And I heard there was a few bad calls. I didn't watch very much of that game at all. But, yeah, in all honesty, the Super Bowl for me this year, I mean, I don't love or hate the Kansas City Chiefs. They're just there for me. I don't really have a soft spot for them, so I don't really care. And, of course, the Eagles are in my division. So, obviously, I don't really want them to win, but I also don't want the AFC to win because I'm more of an NFC type of football fan. So, where do we go from here? Well, I've said it all year, and I'll say it right now. Eagles. Eagles are going to take it because it didn't matter, as I said, whether San Francisco got in, the Bengals got in, it wouldn't have mattered whether the Cowboys got in. It wouldn't have mattered. I would have went with the NFC regardless of which AFC team went in, because I really do think that the NFC, it was much more of a battle fighting stronger opponents to prove who deserved to be there. And I'm not taking anything away from Kansas City, but once again, if you are going to be fighting in a weaker class and a weaker opponents, and then you go up against the stronger, who comes out on top? The one already facing tough opponents all year, or the one that's sort of been able to coast their way through a season with, mid to low difficulty for the most part? Who's better prepared? And I got the Eagles with that one, even if San Francisco was sort of a bit of a flop on the conference game there. So, that being said, as I said, I'm going with the Eagles for the Super Bowl. Might see that wins be even 170. Who knows? But yeah, I got to go with the Eagles on that one. As I said, the NFC is just, they're far stronger. I think the Eagles are far more prepared. They're probably, just if you looked at all the numbers and you just compared everything, I would say the Eagles are probably the best team of the whole year across all the teams, all the divisions, everything. So, yeah, and in all honesty, I really wanted Cincinnati in this because I got a bit of a soft spot for Cincinnati. Don't ask me where it comes from. It's just there. Maybe just because I like Chris Collinsworth. I don't know. But either way, yeah, like, as I said, Kansas City, just like, all right. Like, I think it'll be a good game, Eagles versus Chiefs. I mean, no matter who got in, it was probably going to be a good Super Bowl. It's going to be a good game. But as I said, I've got no real opinion on the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes is fine, all that stuff. Eagles, of course, I don't like. I hate the Eagles because they're in my division, of course. I can't really be much of an Eagles fan. And San Francisco, I kind of would have liked to see what they were going to do, because San Francisco and the Cowboys, of course, being tied for 5, being on the top of the Super Bowl wins for years, up until the Steelers and the Patriots, of course, both individually surpassed both the Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers, tying the most amount of Super Bowls with 5 apiece. It would have been interesting to see, can San Francisco finally break that tie after decades? Will they actually now tie for first with 6? You know, that kind of idea. Or, yeah, because they only have 6. Patriots and Steelers only have 6. Nobody has 7. I don't think anybody has 7. Yeah, so as one team anyways. Yeah, so realistically, that was going to be the more hype thing, whether San Francisco was going to come in and finally do something, you know, make a little bit of history there. This game isn't really going to make or break history either way, regardless who wins, you know, in my opinion. So I'm not really, you know, I'm here for the game. I'll have a good time, you know, but I'm not going to be on the edge of my seat about it. So it's sort of a lackluster Super Bowl as far as I'm concerned, but I'm sure Chiefs fans are very excited. I'm sure Eagles fans, even though I, fuck the Eagles. But either way, I hope they're excited too. Who's going to win? As I said, I'm putting my money on the Philadelphia Eagles. What do you guys think? Last video of, well, the 2023 season. We'll be back here for the start of the 23-24 season, of course, in the fall, with more picks and predictions for the next year. What did you guys think of this video series? What can I improve? What would you like to do differently? What would you like me to do differently, you know, going forward for the next season? So anyways, that's it from me. Hope you guys had a good year. Hope you had a good season. Better than mine anyways, as you can tell. Didn't win any money this year, so let's hope for next season, and we'll catch you guys back here next time. Have a good one.